Hey guys, this is Tom Box, and welcome to A Brave Sea Therion version Synchro Take 2 Electric Boogaloo. Unfortunately, the Link build suffered a catastrophic failure with the banlist killing the Vertian Anaconda, and therefore it can no longer compete. So instead, we're going to feature the Synchro spam build, which is just as good, if not better. This video is a little bit longer because it features multiple combos covering the combinations of 3 separate engines. And don't worry, I'm going to cover it step by step like the recipes from today's video sponsor, HelloFresh. Trust me, if you're getting into cooking or building up your recipe repertoire, HelloFresh is the meal kit you are looking for. I really enjoy not needing to go grocery shopping, overbuy ingredients, and waste food. Everything comes pre-measured, which helps me save a ton of time in my already super tight schedule. And there's nothing to be scared of if you're new. If you can follow my combo tutorials, then you can cook with HelloFresh. Their step-by-step recipes are super easy to follow. There are meal options for everyone, from family-friendly, fit and wholesome, quick and easy. There's just something for even the pickiest of eaters. So you guys can save time, save money, and eat well. You guys can use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use POG MST May 16 for up to 16 free meals plus 3 surprise gifts across 6 HelloFresh boxes plus free shipping. Once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. And these gifts can include desserts, appetizers, or even some premium recipes. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and let's go! To kick off this build, we have triple Therion King's Regulus. This is an Omni Negate and also a pseudo monster reborn for any of your Union monster, because any Union monster equipped to this can just summon themselves back out of the spell and trap zone. So you can use it to equip a B and send B back into the graveyard, and they're not once per turn, therefore you're going to be proccing their effects to search out a lot of cards out of your deck, and that's why this is one of the most powerful cards. And he also gains the immunity based off of what it's equipping. Yeah, in other words, this is quite the beast, you can say. For the ABC lineup, I play double A, double B, and double C. You don't need to max out on these names. You can play an additional copy of B if you'd like, because it's the Searcher, it's one of the better ones, and you can find ways to throw it into the graveyard. Gives you a little bit of consistency, but don't ever max out on these two. You're gonna have a handful of ABC monsters, and that's a break. They don't really lead to anything for you, so you don't need to. Union Hanger does the job entirely already, and putting one B in the graveyard or even a Union Driver can just completely set up your entire combo regardless, so I don't think it's an absolutely necessary thing to max out on any of these pieces. And, you know, having too many is just bricks. You just get one interaction and you kind of just die. Moving on, for the remaining Union monsters, we have one Torque Tune Gear and one Union Driver. Torque Tune, of course, turns your stuff into tuner, so you can go into Hulk plays. And then we have Union Driver. If you open with this, yeah, it does kind of suck, but if you have other pieces to throw into the graveyard, well, guess what? Even if you have Union Hanger, you can still get your B, and then you go for the Regulus once you've thrown this into the graveyard, say with a Brave Engine or something along those lines. Then you can just equip it, turn it into a Torque Tune summon back out. You know, same deal. Nothing really changed in terms of your line of play, and you can go into your Howl play. It's really disgusting if you ask me, because you still have your Omni Negate. Now for the Brave Engine, triple Water Enchantress. The ratio is going to look a little bit awkward once we get to the spells, because I only play 2 of the rights, but I had to debate between, you know, which one do I want? Do I want triple Water Enchantress and 2 rights? And I decided to go for this line because this gives me an additional monster. I do want the body, and if I open with 2 of these, I can convert one into, say, the right, and the other I can summon out and give me additional levels to play with, and that's the direction I chose to go. But if I wanted more consistency of opening right rather than get hit by an Ash, then yeah, maybe I might switch things around. As for the remaining 2 monsters, we have Illegal Knight and Griffin Rider. Thus, the Griffin is of course the Negate, and then Illegal Knight, I like to hold this in my hand from time to time and hide it from my opponent, because it's in disruption during the main phase. I can just summon in defense mode and then just activate the quick effect to bounce 2 cards. Hopefully I hit some back row, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. I want to hit the front row, especially when they're about to go into a play. And putting this in defense mode could completely just cut them off, because they can't even attack into my monster. So that's kind of how I like to play it. And of course, during your own turn, you can bounce it back. So that's really good if you want to do both the bounce and the bounce back. And then I play a little Rose Engine. We have 1 Red Rose Dragon and 1 Rocks Rose Dragon. Of course, this got limited to 1. But because I got limited to 1, I can fit it in here without, you know, try to compromising my deck. It is really powerful. It still counts for 3 monsters, and therefore we have both Brave and Rose in here, which I really like, because we still have access to a lot of the kitchen sink plays in case we don't open any ABC plays. And finally, I play triple Ash Blossom Joyous Spring. It's just the only hand trap I have room to fit, and this is a board breaking deck. And once you see the rest of the spells, you'll be like, yeah, you're going for board break. And with Illegal Knight, it just makes it even easier. For the spell lineup, we can play triple Pot of Prosperity. You can cut one down if you want to thin the deck down to 40, but ideally you need to dig into your engines. So if you open 0 engines, go for the full 6 Banish. If you have at least 1 engine, just go for the 3. It's enough. Then we have 1 Foolish Burial to send the Water Enchantress into the grave to search out your double right. Or if you already have the right, or if you already have the Water Enchantress in your hand, then you can throw an ABC piece into the grave. Of course, you throw B into the grave so you can get the free search, and that's how you can work things out. And for the remaining parts of the engine, 1 Draco back and 1 Faithful Adventure. So we're trying to play as thin as possible here. And then we have 1 Terraforming to dig for either of your spell cards, and of course set rotation because we have multiple field spells in the deck now. For field spell number 1, it's going to be Therion Disc Colosseum. This is your field spell to search out your Therion monster, but I actually like leaving this up more than Union Hanger because it makes it very difficult for your opponent to go through your stuff by battle. I mean, really, if you have both Unions equipped and you have the Faithful Adventure, it's so hard to beat anything down because they have to attack your stuff basically 3 times before a single monster even dies. That's how strong it is, and of course, if things do die, you add back your Regulus into your hand, making it a really difficult grind. Then, of course, we have Triple Union Hanger. It is the best card in the deck. It leads to the full ABC Dragon Buster alone, but it can also facilitate a lot of combo pieces if you need tuners or if you just need additional levels. We have double unauthorized reactivation. If you open with Union Driver in your hand, this is one way to get it out. Or if you have a Regulus plus this, you can still get the Union tuner onto the field, the Torque Tune gear, because you can equip the Union Driver onto it and then just, do a little switcheroo and then summon it out from the spell and trap zone. As for the other spell cards, we have Triple Droplet because we want to send stuff into the graveyard. We're a board-breaking deck, which is why sending stuff into the grave is fine. And paying this cost is really easy if you have Union Hanger because you can just send a lot of those equips and start profiting off of their graveyard effects. And for the remaining cards, 1 Basil Roll Shoot, 1 Change of Heart because now it's legal apparently, and we have 1 Call by the Grave, and that kind of sums up the entire deck. And now we have the extra deck, and I'm going to show you a combo portion after this because it's really important you guys know what you're doing with the deck because there's been some drastic changes. But first of all, triple ABC Dragon Buster. We have it at 3, play it at 3. You get 1 out, you can cycle more or less all 3 of them out onto the field at one point, so that's really good. You can banish 1 with Pot of Prosperity. For Synchros, we have Desert Locust, very important for a Hulk summon. We also have Shooting Riser, which you will summon normally. And if you leave both of them on the field with an ABC Dragon Buster, that's a lot of synchro you get. This usually gets turned into a 3 because you throw an ABC piece into the graveyard, which is why you don't need to open all your ABC pieces at all. But if you have this gives you a synchro 10 and 2 more levels, and that will give you an 11. And that's why we're gonna have to go into our extra deck now, which is gonna be Chen Ying. This is Flex Spot. I'm still testing Chen Ying out. You can definitely play something else if you don't need to. Like, the boss monsters are the most flexible spots in this entire deck. We play 1 Baron, and we also play 1 Psychic and Punisher. This came up, and it was fantastic that I had this, so I'm going to keep playing it because this is how you get it out. You use the Shooting Riser Dragon and 2 level 4s, and you make this, and your opponent kind of just dies after that. So, that's great. This is one of the more powerful monsters for sure. But if you're starting to banish cards out of your extra deck for pot, you're going to be looking at your boss monsters. Now for link utilities, the ones that you have to play a Platinum Gadget, you have to play a Christian Hulk, and you can also choose to play a Barricade Borg Blocker. It's nice because you can fetch back your field spells, and since you play 2 field spells, if you do have both, this card is going to help you fetch one of them back, and that's going to really, really annoy your opponent. And of course, they also have to kill this before they can even break your field spells, so that's really, really useful. As for finishing board utility, of course, we have 1 IP Masquerena, but the overall end board bosses for the link package is very limited. It's mainly Unicorn for utility to remove stuff, Appaloosa so that you don't get hit by, like, say, a Nib because you're midway through a combo and they feel comfortable with double hand trap, and we have Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Although this is really good, I am contemplating to go into like a Boral Sword or an Access Code over the Underworld Goddess because you can break boards pretty easily, but this is the one card that can break anything, and if you get stuck under like a Crooked Cook or any sort of unbreakable monster, yeah, then you're going to be really happy you have this. And you get to profit off of all your ABC pieces when you summon this out. And if you have IP with this, you threaten to remove one of their monsters with IP. So there's no real reason not to play this. And if you want board removal, we're looking at triple ABC. we have a Chen Ying, we have a Baron, and we have this. I think we have more or less enough removal even without the use of Axis Code Talker. And now for the juicy meat of the video, the combo time. And before we get started, smash that thumbs up button for me and hit the subscribe button, ding that notification bell. I really appreciate it. And here we go. Basic play number 1, we have Union Hanger and a way to get into Therion King Regulus. Activate the Union Hanger. These 3 cards are just blanks in my hand, so I'm going to tuck them down here. We're going to grab a B into our hand. We're going to normal summon out B, activate Union Hanger's effect, and we're going to equip Union Driver. Union Driver effect, we're going to banish the Union Driver and equip ourselves an A. We're going to activate A's spell effect to summon itself onto the field, and now we're going to proceed to Link Summon, and we're going to Link Summon into Platinum Gadget. That's going to activate our B. Don't activate the A. If you activate the A, you won't have a name for your Regulus to summon out. So we're going to go B. B is going to add C, and then we're going to activate Regulus targeting the B, and that's going to summon itself out and equip the B. Next, we're going to activate Platinum Gadget to summon out the C. Activate B from the Spell and Trap to summon itself out. Proceed to Link Summon again. And now we have ourselves an IP Masquerena. Activate the B in your hand to add yourself another copy of B. And this is the most basic play. If you have something else, that's even better. Of course, you can go even further. Of course, to finish this play, of course, we banish 3 to summon ABC Dragon Buster. This next combo is a simple extension of the previous one, where you have 1 additional monster in your hand. A Tortune, B, or C already built in, and the end board is drastically different and has way more disruption. Here's how it's going to happen. Activate the Union Hanger. Union Hanger effect, grab the B, except that we're going to normal summon out the Tortune Gear instead. And with a normal summon Tortune Gear, activate Hanger, equip Driver. Driver effect, we're going to equip ourselves with a C. C effect, summon itself from the Spawn Trap Zone, and we're going to Link Summon this into a Christian Halki Fibrax. I'm trying not to slow play here. Activate Halk Play and activate C as well. Summon out the B Buster Drake, and also grab ourselves a Red Rose Dragon. Now we're doing kitchen sink level plays, so we're going to synchro these 2 and perform a Synchro Summon into Shooting Riser, Chain Link 1, Shooting Riser, Chain Link 2, Red Rose Dragon, Chain Link 3, B Buster Drake. B Buster Drake is the least useful, therefore most useful for chain blocking. We're going to add ourselves an A into our hand, and then we're also going to special summon out Rox Rose Dragon from the A, and then this is going to dump the other A into the graveyard, loading our grave with A, B, and C right from the get-go. The Rox Rose Dragon will now activate, giving us a Basil Rose Shoot, and now we're finally back into an open game state where we can activate Therion King's Regulus, and we're going to equip ourselves with a B and summon itself out. We're going to special summon the B back onto the field, and we're going to get ourselves another search, of course. We're going to Link Summon these 2 into an IP Masquerena, and that's going to provide us with an additional search. I'm going to search for a B, and then I'm going to hold the C in the deck because it's going to be very useful there. Now we're going to banish our ABC pieces from the graveyard, summoning out ABC Dragon Buster. And now I'm going to play through the opponent's turn. So the board looks a little bit clogged, but you have enough disruption to stop more or less every card in their hand. We're going to have 2 Omni Negates by the time we're done. And how that's going to happen is we're going to burn our first Omni Negate on whatever we want with Regulus. We need to open the zone, so this is just going to be a free negation regardless. Next, we're going to do ABC Dragon Buster effect. We're going to throw something into the graveyard. Say, I guess we'll throw away our A into the graveyard. Alright, then we can finally tag the ABC Dragon Buster out, summoning the A, B, and C once again. Don't forget to activate your Union Hanger. Hanger effect, probably go for, let's go with the B. So B, now you get to equip another C onto the board, so you get to get a ton more summon. The first thing you're going to have to do here is pretty specific, is that you need to use a Shooting Riser's effect, and you need to synchro these guys off. This is level 3 right now, so this is all going to go away. And this is going to go into Psychic End Punisher, because it's 4/4/3, that's going to be 11, and that's going to proc basically all of these cards. So we're going to go for the C, we're going to go for the A, and we got the A, B as well. So B is going to give you a search. I don't think there's anything left in the deck for you to search based off of the numbers that we're playing. So instead, we're just going to summon out with the B, and then that's going to fetch us back a card from our graveyard, so we can grab ourselves another A back into our hand, maintaining a full ABC package in the graveyard. Next, we're going to use Halk's effect, and we're going to go into Desert Locust, ripping a card out of our opponent's hand, so it could throw them off a little bit. And then on top of that, now we're going to activate Desert Locust's effect, and we're going to perform a Synchro Summon going into Baron or Chen Ying. The C effect is going to go off now, and now we're going to summon out our Union, or rather, not our Union, but like our Union monster. We have our ASL core, and that's going to give us IP Masquerena for another. You can go into anything at this point. You can go into an Appaloosa, or you can try to rip your opponent's board apart with the Underworld Goddess, or you have just Unicorn access. You have all of these within this play, and you do all of this during your opponent's turn, so that's more or less enough disruption to kind of stop any hand. Alright, so this is gonna be the Brave Line combo, and we're not gonna play with Union Hanger because, Tom, you always open Union Hanger. Okay, we're gonna do an authorized reactivation. Rather than 2 cards, it becomes 3 cards, but that's what we play, so we have it. So, and instead of going for B, we have A. So we're going to start off with Rite of Aramis here. This is gonna be a very weird line. It might not look as optimal as possible, but trust me, it's probably the best way you play this out. So we get our token, and we'll get the Fateful Adventure from the right. Now we're going to normal summon out our ASL core because it's the only thing we can do with our current hand, and we're going to activate unauthorized reactivation, get ourselves the Union Driver. Activate the Union Driver now and get ourselves a B. Notice that I have chosen not to use Fateful Adventure. That's not a mistake. We're going to use the effect of B, summon itself out, and now we're going to perform a link summon into an IP Masquerena. Now we're going to trigger our B and trigger the Fateful Adventure so we can't get hit by an Ash, or if we do get hit by an Ash, we get this hit by an Ash instead, so we can grab ourselves a copy of C. And then we also get a Draco back. This is really important that we kept that there because now we can activate the effect of Fateful Adventure, grab ourselves the Griffin, and we ditch the C into the graveyard, activate Griffin Rider, special summon itself out, banish ABC pieces, and we finish off with an ABC Dragon Buster on the field while having 1 negate. This is still 3 disruption while, I guess you still kept the Draco back in your hand. So your hand is about this size, you have 1 negate, and you have the regular shenanigan plays. It's really powerful still, nonetheless, although not the most optimal, but it's still a board that can definitely hold its own. And to push the combo even further, we're going to start with a Union Hanger. This is kind of representing the A and the unauthorized in 1 card, but instead we're going to do B and go into our Torque Tune gear. We have the right, same play there, and the additional card here is going to be the Therion's Disc Coliseum, which is really, really good in this one. So we're going to start this one off with Disc Coliseum. That is our only additional extender, but the additional body that we get from this is a game changer when it comes to this particular play. We're just going to add the Regulus into our hand, and even if it gets negated, then you still have the other play available. And we're going to get rid of this and go for the Union Hanger, and Union Hanger is going to grab ourselves a B this time. But before we proceed with any more Union Hanger plays, we're going to go with Rights. Rights is going to summon out our token, and it's going to put the Fateful Adventure onto the field. This goes to the grave. Now we're going to perform our normal summon, Chainlink 1, Fateful, Chainlink 2, Union Hanger, because if this wasn't going to go through, at least we got to get ourselves a free search. And that's going to equip ourselves with a Union Driver, and we get to add the Draco back into our hand. So currently, hand size 4, this is now on the field. Activate the Fateful Adventure to get the Griffin Rider to make our play much safer, or maybe we'll eat a hand trap. And we get to throw the dragon into the graveyard, activate, so this is what the board's going to look like now. So this is kind of what we're set up so far. And we're going to activate the Union Driver. We're going to banish the card and get to the Torque Tune gear. Special summon out the Torque Tune gear. Using Torque Tune and B Buster Drake, we're going to link them off into Hulk. Hulk Chainlink 1, B Chainlink 2. B is going to grab C. Hulk is going to summon out a Red Rose Dragon. So this stuff looks very, very familiar because it's more or less just the same stuff from Kitchen Sink. We're going to activate Therion King's Regulus, target the B. We're going to equip the B onto us, and we just have to keep track of our names now. It's really important you keep track of the names here because if you don't, you're going to mess up and you're going to throw the wrong pieces into the grave. Now we can perform a Synchro summon so we can maintain double negate at all times so we don't have to get hand trapped. This was a safe play because the 5th summon was the Griffin Rider on this one, so it's always pretty nice to have something like that. This is going to summon into Baron. Red Rose Dragon is going to activate its effects, summoning out the Rox Rose Dragon. Rox Rose Dragon effect is going to give us Basil Rose Shoot. Now we're going to synchro the Rox Rose Dragon with the level 4, okay, and that's going to put this away, and that's going to summon out our Shooting Riser Dragon. Shooting Riser Dragon effect, we're going to throw the name that we don't have. We have B, C, now we can throw A, and that's now a level 3. Next, we're going to summon out our B Buster Drake, and we can activate our Basil Rose Shoot, revive back our Rose Dragon, doesn't matter which one. And now we're going to proceed to do another Link play, and this time we're going to go into Barricade Borg Blocker, which is very important. Chainlink 1 Barricade Borg Blocker, Chainlink 2 B Buster Drake, or you can revert it depending on what you want to do. You can switch it around, it's fine. And we're going to toss the Sea Crush Wyvern into the graveyard, and we're going to add to our hand another A. And so from here, we can just immediately make an Appaloosa right here. That's cool. And you know what? We're just going to do it for the sake of this video. We're just going to make an Appaloosa. But there are different things that you can kind of line into if you want to change it up with the Appaloosa. And during the end phase, or before the end phase, of course, remember to summon out your ABC Dragon Buster, because that's the whole point of this entire combo, is to set up so many negates that it's really annoying for your opponent, and you have an ABC Dragon Buster. During the end phase, of course, you get to add back Therion's Disc Coliseum, thanks to the effect of, what's his name? The Barricade Borg Blocker. So you're ending your hand with this. Again, you have a lot to do here. Get the free negate from the Therion's King Regulus, negate a proper effect there, and then you can banish a card, ditching this, tagging out, and then you have 3 monsters. Okay, 1, 2, 3 monsters. Then you can perform another Synchro summon right here. You're just massing up on bodies. You still have an Omni Negate. You have 2 body negates here. This is what this deck can really do. And you have a follow-up ABC and a follow-up Regulus to go with it. That's how insane this deck can become. That's all I got for this video, guys, but I got a lot more stuff coming up. We have Ultimate Counter Guide, that's on the table. We have ruling videos and meta trends. So if you guys want to stick around for all that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and ding that notification bell. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.